car to pick one. I still see red, but shot on my blues. I still fuck 12 with a kid from Southside Old Town with a pyro sound like gunshot pop with a dick drum. Zoom by, got me far like victim, like victim.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, you know my niggas don't play. Okay, yeah. Ballin' bitch, I need some road gang. Okay, bad bitch, where she gone? Both ways. Okay, okay, yeah. Tell me where these niggas from. Matter of fact, I don't care. I be super icy with a coat. I'm a polar bear. Probably thought his breeze was a ghost, cause she never there. Bone crush, never scared. Nickel eye, disappear. Put a wallet, Cuban chain. Don't you want to see the boy? See the boy, see the boy. Shine and take a Polaroid. Polaroid, camera flash, I see your way. Shirt off like I'm Gucci Mane. What the fuck these bitches saying?
Mad black pillow, watch him freeze, what you mean? Yeah. Come up in his bitch, cause it's sin, what you mean? Yeah. Mad black pillow, watch him freeze, what you mean? Yeah. Come up in his bitch, cause it's sin, what you mean? Yeah.
I don't miss, dash out of crib. Hop in a whip, do 110 and wind up in a ditch. Call her my chick, let it down gently. Cause I put a bitch on a bitch on a bitch on the back of a Bentley. That's a 4-door, I got a full plate. They got a lot of thoughts, but ain't a lot to say. I run a 4-4 in the fourth quarter. Got an empty mind in an empty tank. Running on fumes, you never know who. Go pull up on you, the vision is soon.
What's up, everybody? Look, I'm developing. If you visit the site right now, you'll notice it's lightning fast. And I did some security hardening and some speed optimization. So the site's super fast now. Launched that this morning. Feeling really good about it. You've noticed, might have noticed some instability over the last, I don't know, week. I've been having some instability issues with the site. So what I did was I moved it to a production server that actually can't be logged into, only accessible through my GitHub repos. So the production site, the live site, if you go to entrepreneur.io right now, it's zippy. Oh, it's zippy. Hold on. Let's see how zippy it is. Oh my God. Did that load before I was done typing? That's what it felt like. So this is a production site. It's way faster now, way more stable. You will not see more downtime from this site. That I can guarantee you. So now that that's deployed, I'm pretty close to launching some new features for the indies. Got a little bit sidetracked trying to get this production site like ready and zippy and fast so there's never any downtime for indies. So now that that's done, I'm going to be launching some feats. I got a little bit of Black Friday prep to do this week. Other than that, I'm just launching features and then trying to get to IndieBot so that you guys have like basically like a music marketing professional agent on your side. And that's going to be a free feature for Indie Pro. So all my Indie Pro homies and vatos, you will get more value for the money than was ever advertised to you in the near term. I'm very excited about that. It's very cool to be able to like, you bought one service. Now I'm going to stack value on top of that, you know? I think that's fire. But right now we're just rebuilding containers so we can get back to our development environment and we can develop out the rest of these features. So that's what I'm doing. But this is also a Q&A. I've got until like an hour and a half and some change, rather, until I have to go do podcasts. So I'm literally with y'all until I do podcasts. And, you know, just like this build process is taking a little bit to run. If I show you, this build process is taking some time. So, you know, I'm going to have some processes that run a little while. And if you want to ask questions, by all means, ask away. And I got your back. I will answer these questions as you ask them. Let's see here. Let's reload this just so we have chat. Chat? Is there anyone in chat? I see one person in the Indie Pro group, which makes sense because people are probably working. But then I see 4 people in YouTube. And you guys are being quiet. So by all means, say what's up. Holler at me. It's pimpin'. And we'll listen to some tunes while we wait for y'all to show signs of life. What the fuck going on, bruh? What's up, Adele? How we doing? 6 years. My artist is... Oh, hold on. Yo, I've been following you for 6 years. Sounds about right. We've been around about 7. More actually now. 7 years, though. My artist is an indie pro, and we worked with Jesse on a project 2 years ago. Jesse's the absolute man. I've been wondering how it's been going with your in-house tech stack. You mean the tech stack for Entrepreneur? It's been going swimmingly. We went from a very dumb tech stack to now being kind of unstoppable. A lot of the improvements I've made so far, I launched like a server that has a bunch of server functions. So indies have like custom functions and integrations that I built for them. That's about the only very obvious noticeable thing. What's up, Cole? Cool, man. Yeah, that's one of the benefits of being if you follow streamers at all, like you can just throw them on in the background. So feel free, don't feel singled out. You can by all means have me on in the background. So yeah, we did our tech stack now does include some like impressive, obvious features. If you're an Indie Pro Plus member, you know about these features. But also there's been tons of like behind the scenes stuff. So like for instance, like I just spent the last week almost building like a very stable, very fast, performance optimized version of our site, which like, you know, it's not a new feature. You log into our site, it won't be obvious to you that it's doing what it's doing, but it is much faster. It will have much less downtime, and it makes future development of new features super easy. So lots going on the tech stack for Entrepreneur. And I mean, we're slowly evolving into a software kind of offering. So software is becoming a major component of what we offer. And software is going to be a huge part of what people get out of Indie Pro in the coming year. So that's kind of how it's evolved. Come on, Docker. What are we doing here? Here, give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Right, let's go. All right, I'm gonna throw on some tunes. We got Docker's about to export some Lay's Kid. I really wish I could play the songs I want to play, but I feel like YouTube's gonna shut us down. But I have like, man, I listen to a wide smattering of stuff, and it might seem like I'm only listening to like hip hop and soul, but I'm really listening to two groups, my group and See You Soon. But I listen to a wide range of different stuff. I just don't know that I can play it. Well, let's listen to Chris Cannon. Yo.
My name is Chris Cannon. Cannon gotta be the best. The Holy Spirit gotta be impressed. Richie bass knocking in your chest. Blessings keep on knocking, I'm in sweats. At the bar, hookah got me slurred. 3 doubles, Luca in a third. Giving God Judah, that's the word. Living life, who can say a word? Gotta keep a praise where my mouth at. Gotta keep a strap by the headboard. Trying to keep it down like I'm next door. Pounds like a pet store. Rounds like a neck for a piece inside like a chessboard.
Okay, cool.
Teach these guys, I'm a mentor. Unlimited bars and lines, I'm a sprint store. Whoa, I'm the man, I'm the GOAT, nigga, centaur. Y'all keep mistaking humility for futility. I am the best nigga, literally. Y'all be confusing
I've got to say I'm a little nervous about putting all my eggs in one tech basket in case it doesn't live up to the hype. What do you mean one tech basket? Which tech basket? I could maybe provide some color to your decision making. Let me know what tech basket you're talking about.
With ability, I got the sauce like it's Sicily, Italy. Came up with them boys on them back streets because I want it that way, nigga. Yeah, I'm headed that way. I know I'm late, but first, man, I just gotta read the room. I just gotta feel the energy. I don't do stunts for publicity. They either envy me or envy me. I'm in attendance, but I just gotta read the room. All of the bosses addressing me. All of the dogs is protecting me. They hate when you know your identity. I feel the jealousy. I just gotta read the...
Okay, yeah. Why is that happening?
I just gotta read the...
Maybe we should check out...
Man, I just gotta read the room. Can't move too soon. I'm just trying to keep it cool. The crew about to come through, but I just gotta read the... You either dead or you dedicated. Last year I elevated, now I'm really levitating. You know when you melanated, they gon' try and relegate it. I'm making investments, now they all investigating. I done seen building funds that's full of drug money. I done seen crabs and buckets without the hush puppies. We was all jammed for space without the bugs money. Now I stay with blue faces like I'm Doug Funny. When I'm in Nashville, I order pick up in sweats. I pick it up in Nike sweats. Check. I don't even break a sweat.
No, that's
fresh.
not right.
Now I'm balling like
What's
the
up,
Nets.
Michael?
How's
it going? Yours versus Shopify and MailChimp. I don't think there's a whole lot of hype around ours. I mean, like, the main hype about Indie CRM, let's pull it up real quick. The main hype that is to be had about Indie CRM is all related to cost. So, like, I'm not necessarily saying, I've never said that, like, oh, the Indie CRM is, like, worlds better than like, let's say, like MailChimp, right? Or ClickFunnels or Shopify or Squarespace or whatever, right? I've never said that. I've never said that the CRM is a better email marketing tool than Drip. What I am saying, however, is that it is, if it's not as good as Drip, it's not far off. If it's not as good as Squarespace, it's not far off. If it's not as good as any of the tools that it replaces, it's not far off. And the thing that's really cool about that is that it's $0, right? So if you're already in Indie Pro, which you said your artist is, right? Then you save. So right now your artist is paying what, $55 a month. For a year, that's $660. Indie Pro Plus costs $495, so automatically you're saving $165 per year, or more than $10 per month. And then on top of that, you get all these features. So it's not that it's like hyped up, or I'm saying it's like, oh, it's so much better than Drip. Like, it's like Drip is great. Like, and by all means, if you're comfortable with Drip, or if you bought Thrive Card on a lifetime and you don't need a card and like you're okay. Like, I'm not pressuring anyone to switch on the basis of features. I'm saying it makes no sense whatsoever to not switch due to costs, right? Cost is the main factor here, which is if you get Indie Pro Plus, you not only save money off of Indie Pro, but you get your autoresponder, which is anywhere from like $30 to $300 a month you're saving, depending on how big your list is. You get the email marketing platform. Sorry, you get an autoresponder, which is email marketing, and then it only charges you per email you send. So you're paying like, I think it's $7 for 10,000 emails. So let's say you have a list of 2,500 people and you email them 4 times a month. It costs you $7 a month compared to $30 to $300 for like Drip or MailChimp, depending on your list size. I mean, for 2,500 subscribers, you would pay probably like around like $30 a month in MailChimp, right? Or maybe slightly more. So it's less money. It's just going to be less money because you're paying per email you send. It comes with a social planner that's actually pretty sick. I originally poo-pooed the social planner that comes with Indie CRM. Actually, it's pretty tight. I think High Level did a great job on it ever since I first saw it. Because when I first saw it, it was like garbage. But now it's better. So you get that. So if you have Buffer or something you're paying money for, great. You can replace it with this. So we just replaced like $30 in costs on MailChimp and maybe another $20 on Buffer. But let's not even include that, right? Because not everybody has Buffer. Then we have automation. So you're replacing Zapier, and Zapier can easily be like $100 a month without even thinking about it. You know, Zapier can get up there. but this also replaces critical features of drip. So with workflow automations, we can replace a lot of what Zapier might do for you. And so now let's say we're up to $50 a month saved, right? Then we're going to replace Shopify. We're going to replace Shopify, which is $39 a month. We're going to replace any funnel builder, right? So ClickFunnels, Lead Pages, anything you might use to build funnels. You know, let's say you want to do Shopify to build your funnels. Okay, now you need Zipify Page Builder, and then you need Zipify one-click upsells. So now we're adding another $70 in cost per month saved. So we could say comfortably, with just the features I've listed, we've saved $70, maybe $100, probably $100 per month we're saving. Then it can also replace Squarespace, which like is frustrating and shitty. And like, if you want anything more than just like, I don't care at all what's on it, I just want it to look good. If that's you, if you don't care at all what's on your website or how it functions, you just want it to look good, whatever it is, Squarespace is great. The second you want additional features, you want a button to do something a little bit different than stock, you want a form to have an additional field, anything extra you want, Squarespace sucks, dude. And it's become a miserable development experience. I used to build with Squarespace websites back in 2016, and it was better as a builder then than it is now. They've completely screwed up their builder. So yeah, Squarespace, you know, let's say it's like $20 a month. Okay, now we're up to like $120, $130 a month that you can save on top of the $10+ per month you save by going annual anyways with Indie Pro Plus, okay? And then let's say you want something like, you want an actual funnel builder. You want like ClickFunnels. Okay, well now we're saving a lot of money, but I assume you don't actually want ClickFunnels. Now let's add in ToneDen, right? If you use ToneDen or HypedEdit or whatever for bridge pages for streaming. Okay, well now we've replaced that. Let's go to as December Fall Stream Honey. So as December Fall has replaced their ToneDen with this. And this is actually better than ToneDen's bridge pages, okay? So we just replaced that cost, $10 a month, let's say. We're getting up there closer to $200 a month in value. Not just value, like hard costs that you're paying already, saved with Indie Pro Plus and the Indie CRM. So it's just like a really good goddamn deal. Like, that's the only thing. It's not about hype. It's not about like, oh, are these features so much better than the equivalent? Like, no, not really. Like, it's not a better page builder necessarily than like WordPress with Thrive Architect. I love both. It's not a better email marketing platform than Drip. I'd say Drip's slightly better. It's not a better automation platform than Zapier. Zapier's better now. Zapier has AI zaps. So you go into Zapier, you tell it what you want in human language, and it'll create a zap for you. That's badass. So no, it's not better than any of these things necessarily, but it's pretty much as good, and it costs negative money. We literally pay, if you're an Indie Pro monthly member, we will pay you $10 a month to fire your autoresponder email marketing platform, fire your website platform, fire Shopify. Online stores, got it. Blogs, got it. Want to do webinars? Webinars? They introduced webinars? You want to host your WordPress? Got it. Okay? So it's like, we'll pay you $10 a month to switch to annual and get all of this shit for free. So it's like, it's hard to really say that this tech stack is like can't live up to the hype. It's like, does it cost this much? Yeah, okay. Then it has to live up to the hype, right? It's like it's a Boolean, right? It's a yes or no value. Does it cost this much? Yes? Okay, cool. Lives up to the hype. So that's why I just wanted to put that out there, right? I didn't want you to think like I'm out here hyping up the CRM. It's like, oh, it's the only thing I would say is truly worlds above better than its alternative is the deeper links pages. So like these pages I built are truly better than what you would get out of, look at how fast that loaded. Can we just stop for a second? Look at how fast this loads. And it's not cached browser side, okay? It's not cached on my machine. It's cached on a server, okay? Look at how fast this loads. Holy shit, that's fast. I coded this myself. it deep links to on every device. So ToneDen, what they do is they strip out the actual part of your URL that would deep link. So they take something that already is a deep link and they make it not deep link. That's what ToneDen's doing. And you pay them $20 a month for that. This deep links no matter what device you're on. It's going to try to, no matter what device you're on, no matter what streaming platform they click, it's going to have the best link behind it to open the page. Why? Because when I visit this website in the background, and I'll show you with debugging on, in the background, here's what it's doing. Starts my script, loads it, and then it grabs immediately. It sees, did Andy set a hero image here? If not, it's going to grab the album art from Spotify. Then it detects your device. Oh, we're on a Windows machine. We're on Chrome, okay? And then with that, now that it knows that I'm on a Windows desktop with Chrome, it changes all the links that are behind the services to be deep links that are appropriate for this device. So when I click this, bada boom, open Spotify, right? So this is truly better than ToneDen, truly better than HypedEdit, truly better than all the alternatives. Other than that, I would say the CRM is like comparable. What are your thoughts on using Wix in 2024? I currently use Squarespace. I think Wix, I would, if this were 2017, I would tell you like Wix is gross. Get away from Wix. It's terrible. It's for, it's for people who are, who don't use the internet, right? It's like people who don't use the internet want a website. Wix is there for you, right? It's like the yellow pages of the fucking internet. Now, though, Wix has really glowed up, okay? I would say Wix is possibly better than Squarespace now. Squarespace got worse. Wix got light years better. Because Wix now has SEO, it has online store, I'm pretty sure Wix has one-click upsells, I saw. One-click upsells? I know they had a bunch of very surprising features. So through their app market, they've been able to extend it significantly. How much does this cost? I mean, you can, Wix, through Wix app market, you can extend it to have one-click upsells. So, like, Wix is actually really good. I would, if this were 5 years ago, I would say, like, run as far away as you can from Wix. Now, I would say, like, if you're on Wix, good on you. They're definitely not the worst option anymore. And I would say Squarespace has taken a big hit. They've gotten a lot worse. What happened to our connection here? Okay. All right, let's crank the tunes. What do we got? Will this get us thrown off of YouTube if I play Courtney Barnett? This would really upset me at a deep level. What about Mizica? Can I play Mizica? Can I give Mizica some revenue? Let me just see if YouTube's shutting us down right now. Oh. I just logged into YouTube to see if we were getting shut down, and we had a mention. Someone hated on us, dude. Damn. Oh my God. Someone left a hate comment or something. They were like, I'm disappointed in you guys. And my man, Sean J, linked to this moment in the video. That's hilarious. Oh, I wanted to do this actually. Weaver Beats Full Stack Creative. We need to do this together. I'm going to react to the reaction to my own video. That's something I've been wanting to do. Apparently, I had no idea this happened, but Weaver Beats reacted to my video. And yeah, here it is. 3 months ago. And I wanted to do a reaction to this reaction to my vid, all right? So that's what we're going to do. I wanted to do this live. Adele said, one of my pain points is tracking customer purchases outside of Shopify into MailChimp, for example, Bandcamp sales, and crowdfunding. Well, the thing is, I wouldn't use Bandcamp, one, like they're just taking your money for no reason. And it's not like they're providing you like a large audience. Like Bandcamp's discovery is not that strong compared to the fee they take. That's one. Two, you can do crowdfunding in the CRM without the need for a crowdfunding platform, and it's going to pipe right into your email marketing. Like your email marketing, it won't even be that you have to connect the two. They'll be automatically connected. Like they're part of the same platform. And that's one of the benefits. What's the best way to make $3,000 to $5,000 a month from a music email list of $4,000? 4,000 times, well, let's just do 3,000 divided by 4,000. So you need to make 75 cents per subscriber per month. So first of all, they all have to be active subscribers, meaning they all have to have opened or clicked on or replied to, ideally, an email within the last 3 months. If they haven't, I don't consider them active, and so they shouldn't be on your list. But if they are all active, I'll be happy to let you know that 75 cents per subscriber per month is not at all crazy to make in revenue. It's just that we typically see people come in a little hot who are like, yo, I've got 10,000 email subscribers, and it's like, when's the last time you emailed them? And they're like, a year ago. And it's like, okay, when's the last time they likely opened an email? By definition, a year ago. So these are all inactive subscribers. And so I can't give you solid numbers as to like what revenue you can expect to make from them per month. But if you have a list of 4,000 active subscribers and you offer them products regularly, so that means, what does that mean? It means you're sending them an email once per week that's not about selling products. It has value, it has content, or even just you writing a letter. You're doing that, so you are communicating with them. You are trying to generate replies, so it's a two-way conversation. You're trying to get them to go to external websites so that they do things that you tell them to do, indicating that there's some kind of trust relationship here. They're willing to open your email, read it, click a link, and go check something out that you recommended. Your recommendation has weight to it. Okay, if all those things are true, all those things are true, once per week, they're all active, they've all opened and clicked within the last 3 months, or just opened, and they reply or they click links, then here's what you do. Every weekly email, you have a PS that's like, PS, by the way, anytime you want to get more involved with what I'm doing, here's 4 great ways to do that, or 3 or 2, it doesn't matter. Post the entryways there. So it's a list of the entryways into your brand. That could be the entry product, the entry level products, like for a lot of indies, it's a free CD offer that has upsells. So the average order value ends up being more like what an entry level product would be, like $20. Okay. So it's very enticing. I'm going to go claim this free CD, but on average, enough people take the upsells that it ends up being about $20 in value, and you get a lot more activated customers than you would have if you just offered a $20 product. So that's one offer you could put there. And this is called the super signature. PS, anytime you want to get more involved or you want to support the music or blah, 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 put statement here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 max best offers. Okay. And one of them doesn't have to be like, they don't all have to be sales offers. You could have like, oh, go check out the album launch experience. Go sign up here. Right. So there's different stuff like that. So that's one way to generate sales from email, as long as you're actively emailing once per week. Then do a once per month or 2 months sales promotion. Okay, so take something you offer or something someone else offers that you get affiliate commission for, which is a bad way to monetize as a musician. Ignore that one, unless you have like a fellow band that's looking for like people to turn on to their music and they're willing to share in any sales with you. That'd be sick if you collaborate with like a band that's in your genre that you like, or an act. Then you say like, hey, I will sell your record to my email list, and if any of them buy it, I just want a commission, get an affiliate link, that kind of thing. But it's just not common. But ideally you have your own products. You can sell and put one of your products on sale, or bundle it with bonus value for a limited time or a limited quantity once every 2 months. And this is called a sales promo. We have a training in Indie Pro that's called How to Run a Sales Promo. I think it's called Generate Sales Year Round. Let's check that out real quick. So the guy who probably runs more sales promos than anybody outside of Andy Hunter, for independent artists, is Jack, my co-host on the podcast, Jack McCarthy. He runs shitloads of sales promos. And so he codified all of his knowledge about running these once every 2 months or once every month sales promos into this training, How to Generate Sales Year Round. So you take this training and it literally tells you his process for building a sales promo. You do that once every month or 2 months. Now you have the potential to generate up to like industry average, I would say like $1.50 per subscriber per month, which would be $6,000 per month if you have active email lists of 4,000 people. So you totally could, if they're all active, you could make $6,000 per month. Like, that's not crazy. Most businesses, like real deal online businesses, make about $1.50 per subscriber per month. That's pretty average. Let me even look at our own numbers. Hold on, let me do some quick math off screen here. So reveal financial information. So we have an email list, about this many. Now we make more per subscriber per month, but that's because we're very, very religious about pruning our lists and making sure they're all active. If I were to include our inactive lists, yeah, we hit those numbers. About maybe a little bit more. So $1.50, like $2. So those are industry standards, and they're not based on what industry are you in. It's across multiple industries. So it's just like, dude, have an active email list, send them email, run sales promos. I don't care what industry you're in, you're gonna make anywhere from, even if you made 50 cents, right? That'd be $2,000 per month. So even if you're at the very, very low end of industry averages, it behooves you to have an active email list that you send to frequently, and you offer them products and a sales promotion once every, month or two. It behooves you to do that, because this is just online marketing, sight unseen. I don't care what your business is. These are the raw mathematics of online marketing. So, that's the best way. So literally the main thing that we recommend, cultivate an email list, email them regularly, The best way to get an email list hot again, let me pull up an email from Jukes. Is it Duke's Transmissions? Maybe search a long time. Yeah, dude, look at this. Okay, check this out. Best way to get an email list hot again. So this is how our buddy Jonah McLean works here at Entrepreneur. Before that, we've been friends. We've been friends since I was like 18. I met him in Massachusetts. He's a producer. He moved to California, started making music. I'm here in Orlando working at a recording studio, and I hear his music right around the time that I'm starting to try to experiment with marketing in the music industry. And I was like, I like your music. Let me help you market. And so I marketed for him for a number of years. And then in that time, Entrepreneur started and grew. And then he was like, yo, dude, love the marketing stuff. I want to come work with Entrepreneur. And it took a while, but eventually we found a place for him. And then he came on board, And he learned marketing directly with the staff. So off hours, he would ask staff, like our own team members, for help, and learned. And now he's a badass at marketing, better than me. And this was the first thing he did. So I ran him an album launch campaign before album launch campaigns were even a thing that we taught. It was just like still an idea in here. And I ran one for him, and he got an email list of about, I think, 1,000 people and a customer list of about 200 people. And he let it go cold after like 2 years. So 2 years of not messaging these people. When he came to work at Entrepreneur, he was like, I want to activate this list again. So he came up with a strategy, and this is what he did. This is the first email he sent when he reactivated his list. So he took a cold list, created an email automation sequence, and sent them, added them all to it. And the goal was either you read my emails and we become friends again, or you just unsubscribe because you don't want to get my emails anymore. Either one's fine. Oh, I'll answer that in a second, Cole. Sorry, I just saw that. So this is what he did. He says, hey, Kyle, do you remember me? I'm Jonah, a.k.a. Dukes, and a few years ago we were doing all kinds of cool stuff together. He's talking about the album launch. In case you need a refresher, I had dropped a bunch of videos of me and my friends playing my music while cruising around LA in a car and generally just having a blast. So let's break down what he did here. Hey, person, do you remember me? That's a curiosity-driving question. What it says is, we've interacted before, so you might remember me, right? It's not like, hey, you don't know me. It's, do you remember me? Which is, you have to, it's opening a loop. It's saying like, you're not going to close the email after you read do you remember me and just never remember that it ever happened. Now you have to know, what do I remember you from? I'm Jonah, a.k.a. Duke. Salutations. Introduce yourself. A few years ago, we were doing all kinds of cool stuff together. Okay, well, now I'm more curious. What cool stuff? Now, here's the important part. In case you need a refresher, thing that you probably remember me from. So why did we use this video screenshot? Why? Because this is the video screenshot of the video we ran as a fan finder campaign way back when to promote the album launch. So one of the most popular pieces of media he had when I ran that album launch for him, that's our touchstone. That's what we're going to use to be like, do you remember me? If you interacted with him during that album launch period, you know this video. That's unquestionable. So that's the main thing we're putting in front and trying to spark that memory. We're using the strongest signal in the memory, the thing that's most recognizable. That's really important. And then it goes on to say, those videos were released and lead up to my album Cerrito, which I released a day at a time with a bunch of extra goodies to you and anyone else who signed up to check it out. I've been pretty busy since then, but one thing I have not got around to doing is emailing you. I guess you could say follow-up isn't my strong suit. This year, I want to change that. The fact that you and hundreds of other people took part in my album launch really meant a lot to me, and it still means a lot to me today. To be honest, I feel kind of bad that I ghosted you for so long. A masterclass, right? Like a class act, this guy, right? Is a great way to spark back up the conversation. He got flooded with replies to this email. He got tons of people paying attention again, saying, of course I remember you. And he since has had very successful sales campaigns and probably created LTV, meaning, yes, these people bought his album way back when, 2 years before this email, but now they have made second and third purchases. They bought the next album. He successfully rescued this email list and then sold them stuff because they genuinely wanted to continue checking out his music career. They genuinely are fans of him. Beautiful. Mwah. I mean, what a classy campaign. So this is just a 3-up. I think it was 3 or 4 emails. Make a sequence of emails. Start off with something like this. Hey, do you remember me? Right? Introduce yourself. Reintroduce yourself. Start to tell them about and lead off with, here's what you probably remember me from. If you had a big moment or you had a campaign that did particularly well or a song that did particularly well, remind them of it. Okay? Give them visual cues, auditory cues if you can, to spark back up that memory. And then start the relationship again. And what I recommend is having a few goodies in your back pocket. You're not just coming here to say, yo, I'm back, come pay attention again. You're saying, I'm going to give you some cool stuff in this email sequence, but don't give it to them right away, okay? You want to tell them you're going to give it to them, but that's to be given out throughout the email sequence and give them some cool content. I think that's the best way, for my money, the best way that I've ever seen to spark back up an email list. Okay. So that's that. Let's answer Cole's question. I don't think your YouTube people can see this comment. Let me just add a pop out here. I don't think your YouTube people can see this comment, but I should add I've been really happy with the CRM, and I got on board early. I think it was around November of last year. Yeah, here and there have been glitches, and there was a learning curve, and I have to admit I really don't love the email interface. By interface, he means the graphic interface you have to use to create emails. And I would agree, Drips is slicker. But overall, it's been great to have so much under one roof. The only exception is that I'm not comfortable moving away from Shopify, at least not yet. And my setup to go back and forth with it is pretty heavily stitched, but whatever. It's been great overall, and thank you so much for offering it. No problem, Cole. And I will add to that when we first started off with the CRM, we were saying you need Shopify if you want to offer just a regular cart checkout, because this is for funnels, right? The CRM is for funnels. It's for offering products in a funnel-based flow. And we didn't really like their online store features. Since then, though, we all went into high levels like feature request list. We added in, we want shipping for online store products, tax calculation for online store products, and fulfillment right there in the interface. So we can go into the Indie CRM and we can take all of our orders that we got from a funnel, and we can buy shipping labels for them and print them right there from the online store. And they shipped every single one of those requests. So now online stores have automatic tax, automatic shipping calculation by weight or by item, whatever you want. And then an integration with Shippo, so we can print shipping labels. So we're like really on the cusp of not needing Shopify at all if you have the CRM. Like there's no reason you would want it. But yeah, there are still some things to figure out. And I think really all the features are there. It's just that indies aren't comfortable with it yet, which is a different thing. It's a different thing to have all the features there than see someone in your own community do it, use it, all the features work, and now you're like, oh, I gotta go use this, right? It sucks to be like the guinea pig, the first person to figure it out. So yeah, if you want to learn how to run sales promotions, how to generate sales years round, that's the one. What did Weaver Beats say in his reaction video? So let's do this, okay? We're going to react to the reaction video to my video about the music industry. And I'm going to do that with all of you guys here. I need it to be hype in the chat while we do this, because this is going to go on YouTube, and then Weaver Beats might see it. And he's a cool guy. I actually didn't know who he was. My friend showed me. He was like, hey, I saw a reaction video to your video. And I was like, what? And I watched it at my friend's house. I was like, my mind was blown that like there's streamers out there that know about our videos. Anyways, we're going to watch this together. Let me just make sure my audio is good. So we'll do application audio. We will do this one. Okay, so you guys should be able to hear this along with me, and we're going to react to the reaction. Let me just move this so that you can see Weaver's beautiful face. Beautiful face. All right, cool. Let's go. Here we go. The reaction to the Full Stack Creative video. Let's go. Circa here, and today's video is a little bit of a fun one, because I found a cool way to phrase to you just how much the music industry is really open your eyes to the game.
This is news to me, guys. This is news to me. The music industry sucks. I thought the music industry was a wonderful place with wonderful everything. Everything about it was great.
And that's being played on us artistic folks. So let's get into it.
I thought the music industry was a place where you make lots of money. They really respect artists, and artists get the biggest cut of all.
Little sarcasm. Since 2017, I've become a business owner, and I've had to skill up and learn about a whole lot of different things, including corporate financing and accounting and
say something
like that.
Go ahead, say something.
Through that lens of
say
finance,
something.
It's a pretty cool editing.
I found a new way to phrase.
Let me just say, not pretty cool editing, the best editing, Weaver Beats. You got a green screen? Great. I could put a green screen behind here, okay?
Give me half hour, I'll have the same setup as you. But you'll never have Joseph Piacenti and Michael Kessler, the two greatest video editors in the history of music YouTube. Continue. Now up record labels are and the music industry is. The theme of this video is that...
That is true. The cost of creating content is almost zero. And I did not learn this on my own. I learned this from the owner of Spotify, the CEO of Spotify.
Record labels are a capital arbitrage business. Real quick, if you don't know what an arbitrage is, let's say that I have access to someone who manufactures replacement lens caps. You got a camera, you got a lens, you need to put a cap on that lens. Oh, you lost your cap. Well, you got to go buy a lens cap from me. Now, the person who manufactures these, they're not going to set up a storefront for them and deal with all the other that goes with selling them. They just want to make them and then sell them in bulk, and I'm a reseller of them.
I'll make a video response for fun. All right.
Most businesses, when you boil it down, if they're not creating something unique, it's an arbitrage business. They make a premium off of an arbitrage. McDonald's is a real estate arbitrage business. McDonald's is one of the biggest real estate investors in the world, and they're also a restaurant franchise. And they make...
I feel like I'm just learning how... I tagged him on Twitter to join the stream. Oh my god. Stirring shit up here, eh? I feel like I'm learning more about reselling than I am about the music business.
I would just say, I would just say that, hey, guy, we're a minute in, all right? Give it a second.
But maybe he's gonna connect it in here.
Most of their money from selling real estate. Hey, Weevy, baby, Weevy, Bubala. I just want to say, this is typical of YouTube videos. You might be spending all your time on Twitch, you might not know. YouTube video structure typically starts off with, let's introduce a concept that is familiar to people before we talk about the more in-depth inside baseball concept, right? So we want to tie it to something that you might be familiar with. Like, I'm sure you know about McDonald's, right? Ever heard of McDonald's? Okay, so we're going to start there, and then we're going to tie it back to the highly specific thing. And that's how we present information so that it's cogent, people can digest it, people can understand what it means. Continue.
Looking for the connection.
Okay, if you want to start a business, if it takes investment, you need to raise capital so you can invest into the business. Or if you're a business that's existing and you want to take on some debt so that you have some money that you can invest into whatever, making more lens caps, then you're raising capital.
All right, I'm going to say it, bro. This guy looks a lot like a crackhead. He looks a lot like... I'm surprised I'm learning so much from this guy because he really gives off... he gives off crackhead aesthetic.
Okay, so in my defense, I am a crack baby. Never smoked crack myself, okay? But I am a crack baby, so, you know, I guess for what that's worth, like, I happen to think I'm a very handsome guy, all right? I happen to think, look at the backlighting, all right? I happen to think, look at the Rembrandt triangle that's going on my cheek here. I'm a handsome fella, okay? I'm a handsome guy. I'm not a crackhead. But in his defense, I'm wearing my hoodie and it's hiding my hair, and I do look like kind of like a crackhead. And I have braces, right? And what adult has braces and looks like he's balding and also has like kind of, yeah, like a methed out face? Like I was gaunt that day, and then maybe it's the lack of a t-shirt underneath the hoodie that really did it for him. So I'm going to defend myself, but like I understand where you would draw that presupposition. Now that said, Weaver, babe, hun, you definitely 100% look like you live in a Tennessee trailer park and manufacture meth in your bathtub, okay? That's not I'm not like taking turns out of school here. That's what everyone would agree to. That is uncontroversial as an opinion, all right? So don't throw stones in a glass house. Because look at them chompers that's peeking out under that upper lip, okay? It's a little nightmarish. All right. So when you have a patchy beard, you got those things, the fronts, and then you sort of have this like, you know, beady-eyed Neanderthal look that makes it look like, hey, this guy probably knows where I can buy illegal fireworks and methamphetamines that are crystal. Okay. That's all I'll say. So just don't throw stones in a glass house. But yes, you are correct. Like in this video, kind of look like a crackhead. Totally get it.
I don't know if it's the hoodie plus like the bald.
Baldness. Dude, see, I knew it. I knew
He's
it.
giving me crackhead aesthetics for sure. But I'm
Dude, I'm
learning a
not
lot from him
bald.
also. There's nothing wrong with him. Just saying, not saying he is a crackhead.
Not
I'm saying
bald.
if I were to judge him completely based off of how he looks, I'm thinking crackhead.
And what I'm stating here to you is that record labels are a capital
Crackhead with a new hoodie. Yes, that's essentially it.
arbitrage.
This is an ice cream hoodie, dude. This is Pharrell, okay? So shut up.
Business.
Throwing rocks on a glass house, my guy. Hey, I don't look like a crackhead, all right? I look like a pothead.
God,
They-
I was gonna say meth. Can we say meth? Can we get a Jesse Pinkman in the chat? All right.
Arbitrage, not lens caps.
Let's see. I'm not totally sure, but how about the idea that perhaps feeding sample music to AI is like playing music for a kid? I hate that. I hate that. I just hate that.
Agreed. I'm on Weaver's side here. Whatever they just said, it doesn't make sense as a sentence, and it bothers me.
Look like a heroin user. I do. Okay, check the no heroin. All right, not injecting heroin. All right, snorting heroin. All right, smoking heroin. Maybe.
But capital itself. Let's take Universal as an example. Universal has access to capital through
Check
various
between the toes. I'm not showing you my feet. All right, but it's not because that I do it there.
methods. I found this article recently where Vivendi, which I believe is parent corp of UMG, announced that they'd reached an agreement
Check the butthole. Yes, that's where we gotta check. All right, that's where he's injecting the heroin in the butthole. He's injecting the heroin in the butthole. We found him, guys.
regarding a 5-year, €3 billion financing line with 4 leading banks. What does that mean? It means they can borrow up to €3 billion by issuing what are known as corporate bonds, which is basically like an IOU. And that corporate bond typically has a coupon
Yes, he's really luring me back in here with the SpongeBob shit. I love SpongeBob. Play some SpongeBob clips, and I'm all over your video.
attached.
Is that chat? Can you tell me if that was sarcastic? Because on my first watch, when my buddy showed me this, I was like, "Is he being sarcastic, or he likes SpongeBob, or he's making fun of that there's SpongeBob?" Because I didn't edit this video, guy. But if I mean, don't hate on SpongeBob. I'm a populist at heart.
To it. A coupon is just an interest rate. The annual coupon on the money that Universal borrowed, which was $1 billion in corporate bonds, was 0.75%. So they have access to lots of capital for very low interest. Now they had just taken that
That is pretty low.
1 billion euros, and then last year in 2022 they invested it by buying US Treasury bonds. They'd be making over 5% annually on those bonds. And that would be a
Oh shit, dude. Infinite money glitch here. Holy shit.
No, it literally is an infinite money glitch. Like, they should. I mean, they make more than that, but if they did that, like, they'd be among the most successful. Like, there are tons of people doing that. It's like literally it's an interest rate arbitrage, and it happens all the time. It's hard to do risk adjusted and make money, but it's totally doable, and it is an infinite money glitch.
for
All right.
capital arbitrage. They'd be borrowing capital for 0.75%, and then they would be loaning it out to the U.S. government at over 5%, and they make the difference. That's not what they do. Record labels don't buy treasury bonds for the most part. Instead, they reap their premium
Oh, okay.
through a different method. Universal Music Group's balance sheet currently shows $10 billion in liabilities. Their long-term debt is $2.27 billion as of
Yeah, I'm starting to need some engagement corner here.
2021, and their short-term debt is $300.
What chat? If anyone's in chat and they know what an engagement corner is, let me know, because I don't know. What's engagement corner? Let me know.
118 million. This is all in euros. So if they have an outstanding nearly $3 billion in direct debt, corporate bonds, what are they doing with all that money? What are they investing it in order to make a profit? How do they utilize their capital? Funny story. Same statement that I pulled those numbers from in 2021.
Oh, so insy, dude. So insecure, dude. What? Yo, hold on. Run that
In
back.
order to make a profit. How do they utilize their capital? Funny story. Same
All right, watch my man.
statement that I pulled those numbers from in 2021.
Dude. Oh, Cincy. Run that back.
In order to make a profit. How do they utilize their capital? Funny story. Same statement that I pulled those numbers from in 2020.
Yo! Oh man, that's probably the most sin-secure thing I've ever seen. Holy shit.
How do they utilize their capital? Funny story. Same statement that I pulled those numbers from in 2021. It showed that Universal had advanced royalty payments minus recoupments in the total of 364 million euros. This is Universal's entire business. They loan out the money they borrow to artists. So when assign artists, they want to get them to pay back their loan with revenue, and they want the extra that they make to be far more than 0.75%. And I think you can now probably see where this is going. Let's take a hypothetical example. Universal borrows
Sometimes they don't get that money back, though.
150,000.
The point is not that they don't get the money back, it's that they legally can, though. Okay? It's not that they don't, because they don't, right? Like, he's right. A record label, and you'll notice that record label advances have gone down and down and down to where, like, a record label will seriously pitch to a band now a 15K advance. Like, that's supposed to move the needle on their life. Like, you know, it didn't used to be like that. Like, it used to be that come time for a record deal, they're going to pitch something more substantial, inflation adjusted. So yes, sometimes they don't get that money back, and that's why advances have gone down. But advances are a calculation, and they are literally calculated using, like, law of large numbers, like odds, probabilities, to understand, like, what is the rate at which we make money. They're basically picking how much money they want to make, because they do have a calculation that is not useless. It's not like it provides no benefit. It's within a, like, certain degree of accuracy. So they can project out what percent, if we follow this policy of advances across this sample size of all artists, what percent will make the money back. And then of those who make more than the money back, what is the average return? And they can decide, okay, well, this is how much we're willing to loan out. So they can capture a portion of all artists under their signage, like they are signing them, if they are willing to put up X amount of advance on average. So you'll notice, like, okay, if they raise that average advance a little bit, they'll capture a larger segment. But they don't want to capture too large a segment, so they're constantly playing with the average advance they'll give out and how much of the market they need to capture in order to make X percent of, like, breakout stars or people who end up making money. So it's, like, literally just, like, it's a math thing. It's not a feeling thing. It's, like, completely projectable and probably most likely heavily projected. That said, like, they totally, when most of these contracts secure them the legal right to go after that money, like, in a court of law, and there's tons of examples of this. Record label, personal finances sued. Actually, I wonder if Jippity can find this for us. Have there been examples of record labels going after personal finances and assets for recoupment of advances? Let's find out, dude. Yes, there have been instances where record labels have pursued artists for recoupment, but targeting personal finances and assets is relatively rare and typically reserved for extreme cases. Generally, record label advances are structured as non-recourse loans, meaning the label recoups only from the artist's earnings within the label's domain. So yeah, a lot of these contracts are limited to, these are the avenues where we can collect X percentage from. And in an instance where you do not recoup this advance within the term of this contract, we can continue to recoup from those. But there is cross collateral. It totally does happen. And there are lots of contracts where it's just not really framed up, like, very clearly, like, where it's sort of an open door. It's like, okay, yes, you do owe us this money. This is a loan, but we're not going to explicitly specify whether or not we can come after your personal finances. For larger artists with substantial advances, the label may push more aggressively if a major advance is unlikely to be recouped.
When artists declare bankruptcy, record labels sometimes argue that advances are akin to loans and attempt to recoup from an artist's remaining assets. Interesting, isn't it? So when it really push comes to shove, like, they're willing to do that. So yeah, they don't make the money back, but the fact that you could be pursued for this money, and the fact that you're not allowed to do the thing you make money at without recouping it. So it's like your whole life, your whole livelihood is trained up to do this one oddly specific thing. And what they're saying is you cannot do that professionally. There's essentially a do not compete clause on your own music career until we get ours. So you'll have to explain to me, in what way is that different from saying, I will take the money from you. You will give me this money. I will take it any means necessary, right? You have to go find a different line of work if you want to not pay them back. That's not going to happen, right? So it's virtually the same thing.
Probably often, actually.
$1,000, they don't. They borrow a lot more, but let's say, for the sake of example, they borrow the $150K. They then advance that to an artist.
It basically is a Ponzi scheme. Yeah, that is a good point. That is basically a Ponzi scheme. They're borrowing money and they're loaning out that money to artists. That's basically a Ponzi scheme. All right, there we go, guys. Case closed. Music industry is a Ponzi scheme. We've confirmed it.
As part of a record deal. In the record deal, it states that the artist will get $0 until they're able to recoup that amount of money. After which, the artist and the record label will...
For every 5 that fail, there's one artist that makes a shit ton that makes up for it. That's true. That is I mean, I'm assuming that's true. That sounds right. It's a scam how labels want their money back. The artists don't get their money in time back.
Split the profits of their music.
Do major labels borrow money anymore, like UMG? I would assume they probably do. Like, they do to just get more money, right?
This video actually started off with me showing a news article in which fucking UMG borrowed 3 billion euros. And now he's asking, do record labels borrow money? It's like, yeah, dude, I showed you an article. This person asked, do major labels borrow money anymore, like UMG? This video starts off with me showing you a news article from 2 years ago where they borrowed 3 billion euros, dude. It's in the video.
Like, I mean, I would assume they have money and they also borrow money. So they have more money to throw around.
Typically, like, 90-10, 80-20. It's not great. In some extreme circumstances, they might get 50-50. Let's say it's that. Let's say they get 50-50, right? The artist gets 50% of all the revenue. Oh boy. In some cases, the recoupment of that 150K doesn't come out of the record label's 50%. It only comes out of the artist's 50%. So the music that the artist makes for the label has to generate $300,000, 100% profit. Now, in most cases, they also have the full rights to all of the masters, the recordings that were created to generate that money in the first place. And they don't do this with one artist, they do this with 1,000 artists in order to increase the chances of having...
Well, that's it, guys. I'm done making music. I'm gonna go into the record label industry.
One or two...
It's funny he says that because, like, it's actually a bad... Like, the reason there's so much criminals and, like, just terrible business practices in the music industry... Like, it's probably not because those people are the best at the music industry, like, full stop. Like, there's probably tons of, like, Harvard MBAs who would fucking destroy it in the music industry compared to the criminals who largely, like, dominate it today. It's not the case that they're, like, very good at business or the best at business, like, in general. It is the case that the music industry makes so little money that only criminals and seedy characters are attracted to the business side of it for the most part, right? Like, I think that's kind of the appeal, right? Like, it's like, oh, okay, like, I'm not going to go get a consulting job at, like, whatever, like, one of the big 3 consulting firms. I was bottom of my class. I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna be VP at UMG, right? Like, I don't know. That's kind of what it seems. Now, conversely, like, there are tons of really talented people in the music industry. It's just I don't find them populating the C-suite that much. Like, they're really, like, the C-suite thins out really freaking hard in the music industry. So yeah, I don't recommend it. Don't go into the music industry if you want to make money. Like, I think you can make more money as an independent entrepreneur than you could as a music industry C-suite executive pretty easily, like without really breaking a sweat.
Breakout successes. So for every Justin Bieber, there's 10,000 not Justin Biebers, right? So if
Boss makes $1, I make a dime. That's why I shit on company time. That's a bar. That's a bar for sure.
first you might think like, well, record labels do
Is that like an Aesop rock bar? That sounds like a bar.
all this stuff for you, don't they? They do all this. No, they don't, dude. They just loan you money. Today, in order to get offered a record deal, you have to already be successful in finding a fan base. All the things that the record label would do for you.
I'll sign you, Yuko. Everyone in the chat is honorary signed. You're signed.
Market you, put you in front of the right people. They don't do any of that. You do that, and they come along and they offer you capital that they borrow at 1% or less of what you will eventually pay for that capital. You'd be better off getting a bank loan. Recently,
you can get 2 signs, all right? You get 3 signs if you sub on Twitch. All right, 3 signs.
Friend of mine who has a band, they've done very well for themselves using digital marketing for promoting their band and selling records and merchandise.
I don't look like a
tickets.
carny, dude. This dude said I look like a carny. Look at these hands, dude. They're not small. Okay, hold on. Let me hold it. This is a Galaxy Ultra S24. But in my hands, dude, looks like an iPhone. All right? So, and not a Plus. So, chill with the carny stuff, friend.
So well, in fact, that they now sort of have like an industry promoter. They're playing a lot of the same festival billings that signed acts are playing. And as a result, they start getting pitched record deals. The majority of these deals were for a $15,000 advance, right? Not a lot of money in the world of like corporate financing to the scale that, you know, UMG could afford to pitch. And that varies from genre to genre and from case to case, but getting pitched advances from multiple record labels for $15,000. And I was like, do you need $15,000 that bad? Now, if you've never run a business before, you might not know
I do.
that as a business owner, you need a payment processor so you can process.
There's no way this dude, Weaver Beats, does anyone know Weaver Beats? Because he's pretty big on Twitch, I think, or YouTube. I'm not sure which. But Weaver Beats, he's got to sell something, right? Does he sell stuff? We'll go to his website. Okay, cool. Weaver Beats merch. Weaver Beats merch. Massive hate. That's actually a fire hoodie, dude. What? Weaver, send me a hoodie, bruh. Or these better not be print on demand, Weaver. We're going to have some serious conversations about how you treat your customers. If these aren't print on demand, I'm going to buy a Massive Hater hoodie for sure, 100%. Let's buy one of these. Premium pullover? What's the difference? Oh, Wait, what the fuck? This one says unisex premium pullover hoodie. This one says unisex premium pullover hoodie. Dude, you had duplicate prods on your site, guy. What is the possible difference between these two and these two? This is a fire shirt, too. I'm getting this, dude. Weaver, I'm giving you money. Let's get a huge one. Let's get a huge one and then fucking walk around with a Dutch master under our bandana. That sounds good, right? Okay, I'm gonna buy this off screen so you guys can't see all my credit card information. That said, Weaver definitely makes money, was the point I was trying to make. And so, his Airbit marketplace is down. No way. What? Airbit is down? Not Airbit. What the fuck is Airbit, dude? Oh god, no. Airbit. Oh fuck, dude. Airbit. Dude, no, not Airbit. Holy shit, what is Airbit, friend? Guy. Bloom, dude, this dude is using all types of jank, random stuff here, friend. Guy. Music? Can we... Dude, your website's jank, Weaver. Weaver, we got to talk about your website, friend. We should do a podcast with Weaver Beats, where we give him a clinic on what the fuck is going on with his website, dude. So that said, I was about to say, Weaver, that you probably make enough money to get a 15K advance from PayPal or Stripe. If Stripe's your payment, what are you? Are you Shopify? Are you Shopify? Let's go here. Dude, watch it not. It's Creator Spring, dude. Weaver, we have to have a serious personal, and I mean guy to guy, friend to friend, conversation about what you are using to power your monetization efforts, okay? Weaver Beats, how many YouTube subscribers do you have? Weaver, we have 60,000 YouTube subscribers. Weaver? Weaves. Weavy Leabies. We have 60,000 YouTube subscribers. I know you're on Twitch. You're on X as well. I know your X is one of your platforms. 5,000. Okay, on Twitter. You're on Twitch though, right? Twitch Weaver Bets. 4,000 plus followers. Way more on YouTube, huh? Interesting. So you got 60,000 YouTube subscribers. Seems to be your main monetization method is offering products, right? And then whatever you were offering on Airbit, like beat packs or some shit, fix it. Hey, Weaver, fix it. Okay? We can fix it together. Oh, he has 2 channels on YouTube. Oh, yeah, because mine was on Weaver Beats 2. Why have 2 if you only have... He has 60,000 subscribers on Weaver Beats. Why does he need Weaver Beats 2? Why not let that get to like 2 million instead of fragmenting his audience before it's even really become that big? Questions by Circa. Weaver, my point is that like you totally could be making, let's say, 500K a year, right? Totally could. Through sales. For instance, like, you know, we're Entrepreneurs, you know, a 7-figure company, annual revenue, and we only have 28,000 YouTube subscribers. And we only have, you know, 0 Twitch subscribers. And we have like 10,000 Instagram followers or some shit like that. So like you have a bigger influence than we do. So reasonably you could be making this type of money. And then you do like content around production, which is like something people typically want to learn how to do. Okay, this is your Instagram. So we have more followers on Instagram than you. But there's no reason you couldn't be a 7-figure annual revenue company, right? If your buddy is, the guy on Twitter who you beef with is, I forget his name, but he shouted us out. Fuck, what's his name, dude? That's gonna kill me because he shouted us out, and I don't want to. Let's look at this video. Credit card. So we'll do this. BWB Weaver Beats. BWB. Who is BWB? But it's, what is it, dude? It's gonna bother me, dude. Oh, it's gonna bother me. Bothered. BWB?
Okay, so we're checking this.
Who the fuck? Busyworks Beats? Is it Busyworks Beats? Is it Busyworks Beats? It's Busyworks Beats, dude. Fucking got it, dude. With my mind, I remembered, or maybe I saw it somewhere. I don't know. Busyworks Beats shouted us out. That guy probably is a 7-figure annual revenue business because he does educational content and courses, and he also offers Beats packs, and he does the whole gamut. So Weaver, you could be making that kind of money. You for sure could, and then it wouldn't even be hard, and then you could easily get a 15K loan from fucking Stripe and PayPal, and that was my point, dude.
cards. Online, that's done
That
through
was
like Stripe and PayPal and Brain. It's not crazy to get 15K. He told me, he said,
all right, this guy here, this guy.
Oh,
dude.
Michael, shout
that
out to
is
Michael.
Funny. I mean, I get what he's saying.
Michael
I get his
said it.
point. It's not crazy to get 15K. I mean, it's a little bit crazy to get 15K. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not crazy to get.
Dude, maybe, just a thought, okay? Weebies. Skeevy weebies, okay? Just a thought. And I'm thinking, I'm just spitballing here, right? Maybe when I went to your website, right? Maybe if when I went to your website, the picture didn't look like an Instagram photo from 5 years ago. It was actually like reminiscent of the brand that you're portraying on YouTube and Twitch. And then when I fucking clicked on merch, it didn't bring me to a whole other store that doesn't even have your domain on it. And it has duplicate products and it generally looks jank. I don't know if I'm going to get my hoodie, but I fucking 100% guarantee you it's print on demand. It smells like vinegar when I open the thinly fucking plastic shrink wrap bullshit that's on the outside of it. Maybe if when I clicked on kits, it didn't bring me to this page. Oh, okay. Okay, you do have some kits. But maybe if they were not all of them were listed at $0 friggin', and then if I went to Beats, it didn't bring me to friggin' Airbit. The Airbit marketplace, dude, you're letting these jackasses link out, take your traffic off of your website, which definitely has producers on it, and they go, ooh, he used to be selling his beats on Airbit. Maybe I should go to Airbit, and now they're not on your website, and they're not buying your products. They're buying Airbit's bullshit. Maybe if when I clicked on Masters, it didn't take me out to bloom-audio.com, the jankest website that I've ever seen in my entire life that has almost nothing to do with your brand. Maybe if all that, then 15K wouldn't be that crazy, dude.
Get 15K.
Maybe.
Give me 15K right now.
Give yourself 15K,
can you and your wife wear the same
dude.
size? Don't want to rip that dress.
Hey,
think so.
Weeby, give yourself 15K. Fix your jank bullshit, dude. You have 60,000 YouTube subscribers. You have 60,000 people decided I want to see this guy's friggin' videos all the time. Give yourself 15K.
Oh, we're pretty close.
15K. He told me.
And she already got Weaver putting on a dress. Oh no.
He said, well, we've done that before. We got this loan through PayPal. And I was like, what's your limit there? And he's like, we get 15K. And I was like,
oh, okay, he's talking about loans. All right.
Okay. That became an attractive offer, right? And when you're looking
No, YouTube subs don't count.
at a record deal, basically when you're looking at any contract, right? If they're offering you something and you don't have an alternative way to get it and it really matters, then you're not negotiating.
That would be nice in general too, though, but yeah.
You're at the whims of whatever your counterparty is wanting to do. So I say all that to say that, like, oftentimes if you're that big of an artist that a record label's sniffing around, you have an audience. And if you were to offer that audience,
If I win this league game, I'll sub. All right. If you happen to be on the opposite team, feed. All right. If you're on WX,
you now have a accessors to get in order to get dollars from.
you do if you're a band. I mean, you do if you're a band, I guess.
Instead,
Song or album or whatever. I mean,
dude. So let's say theoretically that you need to borrow $10,000 from me, right? I refuse to loan you the 10K.
what are you really gonna use 15K for? Producing your song or album or whatever. I mean, music video. I mean, you don't need studio time for the most part. Maybe you do if you're a band. I mean, you do if you're a band, I guess.
Instead, I loan you.
I 100% agree with this, actually. I think even if you are a band, like, running out of room, like, you don't need to blow 15K, dude. Like, you don't. In fact, if you're a band and you want to make it in today's music industry, you better know how to produce without fucking professional rooms and, like, a mixing engineer. You better have all that shit in-house. You better have someone on your team who knows how to do that shit. Otherwise, you're effed. So, yeah, I agree that you don't need an advance to basically do anything. And really what an advance is, the trick that's being played on artists, is that artists don't think advance and think loan to do other shit to boost my music career. Artists see advance and they think, oh, well, the record label's going to take care of all the shit that I want to do. So this is my money. They think of it as a salary, dude. So really... and it puts them in this position that when they're negotiating their record deal, they see the advance and think, oh, that's what the record label's giving me. I'm giving the record label my firstborn, a pint of my own blood and 99% of my lifetime potential revenue, and they're giving me this advance. And that's not the case. The record label's consideration is not your advance. The record label's liability is your advance, okay? Or I guess it's your liability, right? You now owe them that advance back, and you not only owe them the advance back, but in a situation where the profit share is 50-50, you owe them double the advance back. If the profit share is 20-80, meaning you get 20% of all net profits and they get 80, which still is rather favorable compared to like the broad majority of record deals. If it's 20-80, then the APR, the lifetime interest you will pay on your loan is 4x. So you get your 200K, you have to pay back $1 million. Like they recoup until they recoup 200K from your 20%. So you can divide 200K by 0.2 or 20% to get 1 million. The record label will make 1 million after they give you the 200K before anything happens. That's the first thing that happens. You make 0 until that happens. So it's not a payday, dude. It's not a payday. And so yeah, you don't really need it for anything. And they oftentimes will try to inflate it to make you feel as if you're like getting some big deal, and you're not, dude. You're getting a shit loan that sucks ass. Imagine a bank told you, hey, we'll loan you this 300 grand for your house. But the interest, it's a 30-year loan. And the interest is, if we just put it like sum and amortization schedule, you're going to end up paying 5x. Is that cool? We'll give you 300K. You give us 1.2 million over. Is that 5x? No. Well, you give us 15 million over the next 30 years. Sound good? 300K, you give us 15 or 1.5 million. Is that cool? Are you cool with that? That's record labels. And then sometimes it's 10x. You 10K plus whatever I deem necessary to grow your little side hustle so that you can pay me back.
Mastering? You don't, come on, bro. You really need 15K for mastering. You could cut some corners on that. At least the artist can make money doing shows while the producer gets zero money when they perform your song. Stay far away from debt and find tech capital. It's a trap. Any people promote financing like it will solve a problem. Unless you have a like guaranteed way to make back that money plus more. Yeah, it's probably not a good idea. I spent $100 on Waves Platinum. Stuff adds up fast. Bro, imagine you're paying a mastering engineer and they just use Ozone in like a studio apartment. IG ad.
So some of the best mastering engineers in the world, like the young guys these days, they're in the box. They're entirely in the box, and they are in apartment complexes. Like they're in their apartment. They're in their apartment. They probably set up like some modicum of soundproofing such that they can take care of the major issues. But like what they have learned that people didn't know back then is that you actually don't need all this shit. You don't. There's just an easy way. For instance, like I don't need a completely sound treated room to record pop or hip hop vocals. I just need 2 bass traps like this one here. See this bass trap behind me? It's right here. This is a bass trap. If I had 2 of them, I can create a corner. I can put the mic in the corner, rapping hip hop and pop vocals all day, and electronic. Easy. So like, yeah, like I think like you could do worse than people who really think that like they should take the easy way. As someone who's very experienced with mastering and mixing, I prefer that they be so experienced that they're like, I'm just gonna let it rip with a few plugins and 100x compression on your shit.
That's, I mean, bro, like what is the, are you for sure going to get a return on the IG ads? I don't know. Like, it sounds risky.
Doing that, you owe me 80%.
Yes, you will get a return on IG ads, depending on the business.
Of the lifetime revenues of that side hustle. And I get the absolute worldwide trademark rights to your logo, your business logo, your name, your
Ooh, this is a good meme. All right, I get your logo, your name, you get 10K, and like whatever I think you need.
product
right?
names, all that stuff is mine. And I dictate
Your soul. And the soul. Well, that's a good deal.
what you do with it. Do you still want the loan? Do you want the loan? Sounds Crazy, right? That sounds insane. That happens
What is this
every
edit,
day.
dude? That was crazy.
Every day.
That was scary. That was a scary
I'm meeting
edit.
with a record label and they say, sounds good. People have known this. Like, I just described it in maybe a novel way for you, but people have generally known this hustle.
I mean, I think the reason why people still sign to labels is because they think they're going to promote them. You know, they think they're going to promote them and get them to like a level where they're insanely popular. I mean, I'm sure some people are dumb and think they're making a lot of money too, and they don't understand that they're just getting loan money. But I think some people think that they're like, oh, I'm going to be famous now. You know, I'm signed to a major label. I'm famous now. They're going to make me famous now. I think that's the general motivation.
But they don't do that, though. Like, they don't do that. It's so important that everyone, whoever sees this video, knows that that's not what they do. Okay? When record labels sign you, it is not to maybe put their entire marketing machine behind you such that you become famous. In a broad majority of cases, the record label is signing you in case you become famous on your own merit. The record label is like an insurance racket, okay? They are buying up insurance on things they normally would not own, okay? So imagine if I go to like a neighborhood or even a zip code and I just start taking out insurance policies on a bunch of houses that I don't own, and they only pay if something horrible happens. And what I'm really betting on is not that anything horrible is going to happen to any individual house, but that the incident of horrible accidents in this zip code is going to go up. That's really what I'm betting on. It's like I'm buying a stock, but the stock is total loss rates of real estate in a certain zip code. Okay? You can do that. And that's what the record label does with artists. They are betting on the average, the aggregate success of artists above a certain threshold. So they have a minimal criteria for you to qualify, and once you apply that minimal criteria, the sample size you're left with, their aggregate success goes up, okay? The average artist is more financially successful, not maybe personally, but their music is, over the long term. So they don't place bets. They're not picking horses. They're betting on the average performance of all horses over time. And so they're trying to buy the insurance on you getting famous as cheaply as they possibly can. They're shopping different insurance providers and saying, okay, well, we have these tier of artists that have this much growth on Spotify and this much time with this look back window in this genre. We need 10 of them. So what's the cheapest we can get a sample size of 10 of them? That's literally what it's like. And so they're not worried about, hey, we're going to pump a bunch of money into one of these 10. They just need 10 under their deal with the option to extend. They're purchasing insurance for a period of time. I think that's what's really important that people kind of don't get, is like that's a way of seeing it that's more aptly describes what they're doing than what people actually think they're doing. They're not doing what people think they're doing. They are playing the odds in aggregate. Now, okay, do you get the occasional like Dominic Fike? Okay, yes you do, but Dominic Fike is a very illustrative example. A kid had a pretty good meteoric rise on SoundCloud. He released one album, it did very well on SoundCloud and got passed around amongst a lot of influential people. Because it was passed around amongst influential people, labels started to perk up and say this person is completely unknown to the broad majority of people, but they are liked by the biggest tastemakers in the world. We need to capture that as soon as we can. And a bunch of other labels had the same idea at the exact same time, which caused a bidding war that drove up Dominic Fike's signing price to like $4.5 million. And that's an advance, dude. It's not, he made $4.5 million. He now owes $4.5 million, and the juice is running. Okay? Interest. And then that is a case where they have every incentive in the world to make this kid as famous as possible. They have every incentive in the world now. With the 10 artists of certain genre in a certain time frame situation, they don't. They just need 10, and then they're protected if one of them gets famous. But with Dominic Fike, where they go a little crazy, they need to make him famous. How famous is Dominic Fike? Is Dominic Fike the most famous artist that's around right now? Oh, he isn't? Is Tiffany the most famous artist of the 1980s? Oh, she isn't? Oh, weird. It's almost like record labels do worse at marketing an artist when they try. So yeah, they can't make you big. They're just really good at signing all of the people who become big. That's their skill. It's not marketing. They're terrible at marketing.
For decades, like 4 decades, it's been transparent that this is going on. And
like sometimes they may, but I don't know. I feel like nowadays, like it seems to me at least, like labels don't do that much. Generally, it seems like they generally don't do that much.
Yeah.
nothing has been done about it. And you're like, well, who cares if I can blow
like
up?
a lot of times they seem to try to like ride off of your success. Like, why do you think they're trying to pick people off of TikTok? They're trying to ride off their success. Maybe they'll add a bit, but they're trying to like get somebody with some sort of wave going already.
Here's the way it works. You have a probability of blowing up, and they will give you money in proportion to this bet.
That is true. Promotion and connections. Way easier to transition to acting, fashion, etc. if you started making music on a major. That is a good point.
Gambling on you, but they're also gambling on 1,000 artists. Do they have the infrastructure to
I mean, no. I'm sorry, no. I'm sorry, no. It is not easier to become a highly successful actor by first becoming a highly successful musician. That is not the case. The odds are like several orders of magnitude worse if your goal is to become a famous actor, and instead of making a beeline and taking auditions and acting classes and trying to get work, you decide I'm going to become a famous artist first, which is like a 1 in 10,000 like per year moonshot. Okay, doesn't happen to anybody. I'm going to do that first, and then I'm going to transition to acting, dude? No. Sorry, no. No. You'd be way better off going directly for acting.
support and give the best try to 1,000 artists? No. They don't.
No, fuck no, they don't.
A crushing majority of those artists, they're just giving them the advance. They're getting the legal right to everything that they ever do. And they're saying, like, go do something. So hopefully in the future, when you're thinking about maybe signing up with a record label,
They're like, yeah, just fuck off. Do whatever. Do whatever. Fuck off. You got your 15K. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. You owe us, by the way.
you don't. Stop signing these deals, man. For the love of God.
I will sign them if I want to, all right?
They don't care about you. Every single one of them
No, they said
will
they
tell
do.
you one thing and send you a contract that legally states the opposite of the thing they just told you in the meeting. And then they'll give you a lawyer, or they'll know a lawyer, or your lawyer will have a reason to play nice with them. And you're
Bro, it's super funny. Like, I remember in the Krayshawn video, she was talking about how they set her up with a lawyer, and that lawyer ended up not paying her taxes, which is, that's ridiculous. Like, they're like, oh, here's a lawyer we know. Lawyer ended up fucking just not paying her taxes at all, not doing the shit at all.
multiple
Right now, by looking like a crackhead. Like, is this guy just like secretly like an entertainment lawyer or something?
lawyers talk to you about
Kinda, I guess.
I'm skipping through the end here. I want to watch it, and I know he says a bunch of stuff at the end, which is what I was waiting for. But I have to go do the podcast. So, Weaver Beats, thank you so much for reviewing my video. I'm sorry if I said anything mean in the spirit of comedy and jokes and joking here, and it offended you. I didn't mean to, but you know, you did call me a crackhead, and I hope to see a reaction to this reaction, to my reaction, to his reaction to my video sometime in the near future. Maybe Busyworks Beats, since he knows of us, of Entrepreneur, can get in on the action. That'd be cool. There's a lot of fun you can have with a computer and a video camera. I will see you guys. I have to dip. Peace out. I'll see you tomorrow for Live Dev Day. So we'll be shipping features tomorrow. Later!